Good morning, guys. This is Lady C, and I just wanted to come to you this morning and let you know that I am here at the Women's Center, and I am getting ready to have my pre-op for the ablation procedure that I'm going to be having real soon. And the reason why I am sharing this with you is because I want other women to know the process that it's going to take for this procedure. It's an outpatient procedure, and I was supposed to have it last year. And I was a little hesitant. I think I didn't have all of the facts, and I thought that everything was okay. But sometimes as you age and your body ages too, as your mind ages, your body ages as well. So we have to make sure that we're having our yearly appointments and getting checked. Everything that we need, especially when you reach a certain age. When you're over 40, you have to have that yearly pap. You have to have that yearly mammogram, your yearly checkup. And so as you know, I've been on this health regimen about just living healthy and being healthy and feeling healthy and doing healthy things. So I wanted to bring you in with me so you can understand the process, and you may be going through some of the same things. The reason why I'm going to have the ablation is because I qualified for it after they did a random check. I had a random checkup, and they found fibroids on my uterus. And if you have fibroids on your uterus and it causes certain symptoms like pain in your lower abdomen, you can have pain during intercourse or dryness during intercourse. You can have lower back pains. You may have to use the restroom frequently, or you may have a bladder leakage. You can also have infertility problems where you are not being able to conceive. And one of the things that can happen if you go and get checked out, they can probably do different procedures where you're able to have your baby without getting the ablation. So all of these symptoms are signs of having fibroids. So yes, I do suffer from having fibroids. I have fibroids growing on the outside walls of my uterus, and that is a qualification of being able to have the ablation or a hysterectomy. And I'm opting out of the hysterectomy. Hysterectomy is where they remove your entire uterus. It happens to a lot of women. About 80% of women have fibroids, but most of them don't even know they have it because they're not having symptoms at all. But if you have any of these symptoms that I just mentioned, definitely go to the doctor, get it checked out, make sure that it's not a fibroid that you have that's growing. Now, fibroids are benign, which is a non-cancerous growth on your uterus. So they are non-cancerous tumors, but the doctor assures you that the procedures are fine, and I have researched and checked into it a lot of, and what's kind of amazing is a lot of the fibroids occur in our black women. So it is most common in the black women, it's most severe in the black women, and it occurs at an early age in the black women. And like I said, what was really shocking was the 80% of women have fibroids and we don't even know it. So again, if you're having any of these symptoms, the heavy bleeding, for the menstruals, the pains in the abdomen, the pain during sexual intercourse, the dryness, the lower back pains, any of these things, the discomfort. Sometimes I used to lay awake at night and just rub my stomach, because it was very discomforting, and there was nothing that I could do about it. It wasn't that I needed a Tylenol. I couldn't describe it. Sometimes it would be a little pain just lying there, and sometimes I would just have to rub my stomach to kind of soothe my stomach. There was nothing that I could really take. Those are some of the things that that I wanted to mention. I have several fibroids that are growing, like I said, on the outside walls of my uterus, and one is like way larger than the other. So your belly can also stick out like you're pregnant, but you're not. So you're gonna be able to hear some of the things that the doctor is saying about that. And you know, just stay tuned, and we're gonna all learn together. So it is very important that we as women, you know, check on our bodies. Men too. Men need to check on their bodies too. Sometimes men don't like to go to the doctor, but for women, that's who I'm relating to. That's who I'm advocating for. That's who I'm pushing doctor visits for right now at this time, because I know my body, and I want you to make sure you know your body as well. Those little signs that you may have, you know, body aches, is very important that you go and get it checked out. And I'm not big on doctors. I rarely go to the doctor. I do go and get a yearly checkups, but you know, just for a headache or you know, a little body ache or a little cramping, I don't normally go to the doctor for that. I'm big on home remedies. From my understanding, when you're having heavy cycles, the walls of your uterus are very thick, and the ablation is when they scrape the lining of your walls. They kind of burn it down, scale it down a little bit, and they usually do it very quickly, and it helps slow down or helps reduce the pain that you may be having sometimes in your stomach. Sometimes it's a sharp pain, and it reduces your cycles. Sometimes it even stops the cycles altogether. And I'll let them explain some other things about it and why it is important, because the nurse said that the walls of your uterus should not be thick, and it could eventually, as you age, lead to cancer. So I was definitely concerned about that, and yeah, I'll let her explain more about it, and so stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Good. You got an appointment today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What's your name?
Kathy Nobles.
With a C or a K?
C.
Your date of birth? All right. Got to take your temperature. I need to know if you've been experiencing any cough, fever, sore throat, or loss of taste.
No, ma'am.
All right. Have you been exposed to anyone with symptoms?
No, ma'am.
All right. All right, and what they're going to do is they're going to ask that you wait in your vehicle.
Oh, okay.
I'll go and check you in, and when they're ready for you, they'll give you a call, okay?
Okay,
All
thank
right?
you.
All right, Ms. Reynolds, if I can get to you to verify your date of birth.
Alright, you gotta have a sample. Get your sample. Because you know they got to run tests. So, make it happen.
Just say if like this is your uterus, think of it like a balloon and that's your cervix. So your endometrium is in here. That's the part that builds up with blood every month and sheds. So fibroids can just be in the wall of the uterus. Sometimes they grow outward, inward. You know, they might be in the wall and outside. Sometimes they can even like start in here and kind of push inward on the lining of your uterus. And one of your fibroids is kind of pushing in on the endometrium a little bit. And so that could be the reason why your lining kept appearing to be a little bit thickened. And it could be, but and so you got a couple little fibroids or whatever, but the biggest fibroid you got is 6 centimeters almost. So it's about as big as about the size of half your uterus. And she don't say like where it is in there. You know, it could be like coming all. Could be halfway in the wall, halfway out of the wall. Could be, you know, that could be the one that's kind of like pressing in on the lining of your uterus a little bit or whatever. Just to give you a description of that. You do have like a little cyst that's left on your right ovary, but it could have been like ovulation from this month because you got some fluid back behind your uterus, and so usually that's a sign that you've ovulated. And where you're at in your cycle, you would have just ovulated like last week or so.
Right, okay. So what causes the cyst?
The cyst is like follicles or eggs that build every month. You know,
okay.
some of them don't go away; they just kind of sit there. But most of the time, they'll pop and go away. Our body will kind of like reabsorb everything.
So would the fibroid and the cyst affect the ablation procedure?
The cyst won't. No, that's just a common occurrence on our ovaries or whatever. Now, sometimes the ablation can help the fibroids. It's not going to make them worse. Sometimes it won't do anything to them. But most likely, a cause of your heavy bleeding, a lot of times is probably from that biggest fibroid. But sometimes it kind of like stretches, and as it stretches, it's almost, so the uterus is a muscle, and so the fibroid, they're just like benign, basically little overgrowths of that muscle. And so as they stretch, sometimes the little vessels will pop or whatever, and that can build up, that can make your period a little bit heavier. You know, they probably won't be able to guarantee you 100% stopping your cycle, you know, but if they can get you down to like a panty liner or a light pad or something like that, you know, something that's 90 to 95% better than what you had, you know, then they would say that was a success, especially with the size of the fibroid that you have.
Okay.
And that's really what the ablation was designed.
I had to have a mammogram and PAP and ultrasound to look at everything, as you heard the nurse talk about. All right, so after 2 hours, I am after 2 hours of being pulled, poked, and taunted, I am done with all of this pre-op stuff for now. They do have to test you for COVID. They have to test me for COVID, so they're testing everybody. So I have to come back in 2 days and be tested for that. And then I have a final pre-op the day before the actual outpatient surgery, which is taking magnesium citrate, drinking a whole bottle of that, and I have to take 2 enemas. No breakfast. Eat breakfast and lunch. After lunch, only drink the liquids, and have to start the bowel prep at 3. That's with the enema and the magnesium. Other than that, just water. Nothing really else to eat. You know, you going on a fast. When I first went, I knew that I was having some stomach pains, and I didn't know why, of course. Again, if you suffer from fibroids, or if you have some symptoms and you don't know whether you're suffering from fibroids, you don't know if that's the cause, then go and get checked out and listen to your doctor and follow their instructions. Okay, so I am just getting back from having my testing done for the virus. But one of the things that you all forgot to tell me was the testing was horrible. It felt like someone had taken a handful of firecrackers and threw them up my nose. They had this long swab about 3 or 4 inches. They stuck it up there. It was, you know, really slow. It's just like, I guess, getting flu testing, but it was longer, like 3 or 4 inches, and they put it up my nose. It felt like, I just felt a burning sensation, and it took about 3 to 5 seconds, maybe, you know, 3 or 4 seconds, but it seemed like it took forever. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. It just wasn't a good feeling. So you all forgot to warn me about that. Thanks a lot. I forgot to mention that some of the other symptoms that I was having was hot flashes, especially at night, and night sweats. So I had a lot of night sweats, a lot of hot flashes, and my leg was hurting off and on, and I didn't know what that was until I started going through all of these other things. So I looked that up, and it said it could be associated with fibroids. It also said that you can have butt pains and thigh pains and leg pains. It all depends on the position of the fibroid on your uterus. So I guess it presses up against one of your veins or nerve, and it causes pain. So it just depends on the different locations of your pain, depend on the position of the fibroid in or on the sides of the wall of your uterus. So just add that in there. So if you're having any of those symptoms that I mentioned earlier, make sure you go and get checked out, and that is the purpose for this entire journey with me on uterine fibroids. Okay, so the next time you see me, it will be on the day of my outpatient procedure. So stay tuned. Hey guys, so we are on our way. It is the morning of my outpatient procedure. It's a little dark, and the reason why it's dark is because it is raining outside. Guess what? Not only is it raining, we just had a flat. So hubby is out there in the rain fixing on the tire. Bless his heart, he loves me. So we'll get back on the road shortly, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Am I nervous? Just a little, not too much. They said no makeup, no lotions, no nothing. So I am very, very ashy this morning. White elbows, white ankles, white heels, white legs, everything's ashy. So anyway, stay tuned. Bye-bye. I'm coming back. Coming back, B, not going. One of this video.
How you know?
Okay, guys, this is day 2 after my outpatient surgery or outpatient procedure, and I'm feeling okay, feeling good. Just wanted to conclude by saying thank you all for coming with me on my journey as I discover new things, new health regimens, discover things, new things about my body. I really appreciate you guys for your support, the ones that I told personally, and you out there on social media as well. Um, I have a few antibiotics to take along with my regular, other prescriptions that I normally take. Um, just a little soreness around my stomach. That will heal soon. Just can't do anything for about maybe 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, just depending on how I feel. The regular stuff, no bending, no heavy toting over 3 pounds, just the normal stuff. And my family is very supportive, so I appreciate you guys. One thing I would like to say before I go is I discovered, just through asking my family members on both sides, my side, my husband's side, that there are a lot of females, a lot of women that have been going through some of the same issues, and that makes me even the more ecstatic about just getting this information out, because you would be so surprised at how we all go through things, but we don't really share, unless someone asks us. And because I ask, then they share. And that's one of the things that I want to do with you guys. We as women just need to be more aware of our bodies. And I want you as young ladies, as mature women, even young girls, to just become aware. That's the main thing that I was trying to do with this on this journey, and try to take you with me. I want us as women to become more aware of our bodies, and to take heed when our bodies are talking to us. And when you have signs, go to the doctor. Don't try to override it. Yes, definitely it's good to pray. I mean, I pray about things all the time. It's good to pray. But God also places physicians, all of these medical doctors in place to be utilized by Him. He uses the medical physicians as well. So don't think that because you are a strong prayer warrior or a strong person of faith that you cannot go to the doctor. Definitely go to the doctor, because He places those people in place for us as well. Uh, so just be encouraged. If you already knew about ablations, hysterectomies, fibroids, if you already knew this stuff, then that is wonderful. Then that means I'm joining your team and you already knew about it. If you didn't, then maybe this video will help you. But if you knew about it, just share it. Share it with someone that didn't know. If you didn't know about it, then this video was really why I came forth. Not to just share my personal business, but for this reason, if it would make one woman or one young lady become more aware of their body and the health issues that they could be having, that they were overlooking, then I've done my job. And I'm glad of that. And I have no regrets for sharing my personal life and health journey with you. No regrets at all, because I want to help someone else. Each one teach one. So you just be blessed. And there is so much more information out there for us to discover about our health and about our bodies. And So this is just the beginning, and you will probably see more at a later date about my health issues, because I want to take you on the journey with me so we can all be healthy together. So there was one other thing I need to tell you. Since the fibroids are still there, I will probably be doing more health videos on how to manage your fibroids, because you have to make sure you're eating certain things so they won't keep growing. And one thing I did learn, amongst all the other things, was the more sugar you eat, it causes inflammation and causes your fibroids to grow. So that was something new that I learned. So if you have the more sugar you eat, or carbohydrates that you eat, then you can cause your fibroids to develop more. So you have to be aware of that as well. And so anyway, all right, so again, thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. I love you, and thank you for your support. Hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button, and if you have any questions, then comment below. Thank you. Bye bye. Be blessed.